welcome to another edition of the Sportsport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport here on a 2 for Tuesday.
That's right, dude.
Barnes and Tony once again. Yankees win, Knicks win, Mets win. Everybody wins. So it's a fantastic morning here at the Downtime Studios.
Yes, it is. Like you said, dude, the triple crown for us last night. So a lot of winning, a lot of good things to get to today, and I'm pretty stoked about it, dude.
Yeah. And unfortunately, one comes close to home, one on the opposition side, but you never like to see injuries, and we'll talk about it. But obviously, looks like Jason Tatum, has some type of Achilles injury, looking at the way he was carted off the court last night. And then Oswaldo Cabrera, who knows if it's a broken leg, broken ankle, ambulance on the field. Those were really the only things that marred a perfect Monday evening. But we'll work with what we have and go over everything. But what's going on, brother?
Not much, dude. Having a nice little morning, I guess. It is unfortunate with the injuries that we saw, but regardless, dude, it was a great night, and yeah, dude, I'm pumped. Didn't really get on the golf course yesterday like I wanted to, though, but I know you did, dude.
Yeah, there was an opportunity there?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Got you. But it's coming.
It's always a thought in the back of my mind. Maybe if there's time, slip it in.
A quick
9, dude. Even just the range or something.
You know, it was pretty cool, and I'm trying to think if there probably would have been some crossover, but I actually got paired up with yesterday the former baseball coach at Sacred Heart, Nick Giaquinto.
The big guy?
No. He retired in 2017, so I don't know if there would have been any.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe just a little bit. Just on the cusp.
But he actually won a Super Bowl with Washington.
No kidding, dude.
Yeah, and then I, ironically enough, was at his baseball camp like 22 years ago because he used to do an indoor one at the Pitt Center.
Really, dude?
Yeah.
At the Pitt Center, dude.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
In the winter time, and I knew it was 22 years ago because I'll never forget. It was the day of the Super Bowl, so the camp was during the day. Then after, went to the Super Bowl party. Bucks, Raiders, and what happened, Kev? Okay. I think they're still looking for Barrett Robbins. But anyway,
that's pretty cool, dude. So you guys were kind of like talking it out a little bit.
Great guy. Yeah. And then the other person we were paired up with, because it actually ended up just being me and our rep Devin, because my dad was a little banged up from the weekend, sore. The kids running around,
the drinking.
No, not the drinking. So the other person, we knew a bunch of people in common. He knew my high school football coach, so it was just kind of crazy how that works out. Orange Hills. I don't know if you've ever played it.
Never.
You would like it.
Nice.
Honestly. Yeah, good condition, easy to get a tee time.
Okay.
So yeah, I recommend that.
Burger
one.
on the turn.
And it's just right off of the Post Road.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I guess it's off of Racebook Road.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, so not too far over there. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it was a great day. Like I said, had dinner at both with the parents out there. That was great as well. The patio out there. Have you ever?
Never.
You've never went there?
Never.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, it's a good place. Steak sandwich with the lobster bisque, and then finish it off with the crisp. So we're still full from that one.
That sounds so
last
good,
night.
dude.
Yeah, it was the perfect evening for sure. Then you throw in the sports, so a lot to like. But I do see we have a slew, of comments.
Yes, a lot to like in the comments, dude. And we start off with Brian Barnaby. Interesting. He says, last week, Yankees walking off, no mention in the title. This week, Mets walking off. And, well, Brian, I'm just taking your advice.
It's just funny how you decide to take my advice when the Mets walk it off.
Well, I mean, when the Yankees walk it off again, if they do, then it'll be in the title, But I am taking your advice. Obviously, Josh B playing at it too. What's wrong? What's going on with this producer? He says.
Wow.
Ernie saying it's bullshit, dude. And then Kev Dew says, let's go. We want all of the smoke. How about these Knicks? F Boston. He says, Ernie, talk your shit about the Knicks now, dude.
Let's go Knicks.
That's right.
Fuck Boston.
And that's exactly what Josh B says. What up, fam? LFG Knicks. And Ernie says the bias is showing. Dude, I'm just taking your advice. You said you want the walk-offs in there.
But it's
it just so happens. It's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. Yeah.
Happened to be.
It just happened to be.
Yeah. What a coincidence.
I mean, is it not true? Like this is this is the next walk-off.
I mean, I guess we'll find out when there's another walk-off.
I guess we will, dude. I guess we will. And then Jay Bird in the house says, good morning, DTV. Nixon 5, he says. Josh B saying, what's up to Jay Bird? And Jay Bird knows the deal. It's all about the Mets, he says. Always, Tony.
Funny how no one else said that in the comments.
I mean, well, because outnumbered. There's no other. Michael Bukta, dude. Allergies might be hitting me. FF, he says.
I mean,
and don't we all know about that, dude?
They hit us all.
They do. And then he says, F the Celtics. Tatum Blues knee wide open.
Yeah. I mean,
obviously, Bucks is excited about that.
I know you were watching. I mean, you think definitely Achilles or?
I thought Achilles. Yeah, it looked like it.
Was that
but
what
then
Mike,
again, I
Mike
don't know.
Was thinking too, or?
Yeah. I think he said that too. So,
but it's interesting though. I'm trying to think, but don't usually no, ACL is the one you could walk. Achilles is you can't put any pressure on.
Yeah,
right?
I did now.
Yeah. Kind of crazy too how it just wasn't like some big contact type of play.
Limited contact, actually.
Limited contact. Michael Bucket would not approve.
No.
So yeah, I mean, you just hate to see those type of injuries.
You do, dude.
And it's crazy too. What an injury like that can do. Take away just this series, this year playoffs, but just going forward, what that could do to a team. Losing your best player to that type of injury.
Yeah.
All this money already invested in him. Achilles injuries. You never know how the players are going to bounce back. I mean, it just changes the direction of the franchise. And they were even talking about it. I think it was on DNR this morning, but just with the new ownership, all the payroll that they have, that this could, result in them trading some guys this offseason, kind of retooling a little bit, which seems kind of crazy. I mean, obviously there's, regardless of the way they're playing this series, one of the best teams in the league. So going to be interesting to watch. But I mean, unbelievable. The Knicks up 3-1 now after winning 121-113. Third straight huge comeback, to be down 20 the first 2 games. And then yesterday down 14. And speaking of 14, they outscore them by 14 in the third quarter to come back. 19 overall in the second half for the 8-point victory. And this was, when it was the end of the first quarter going to the second, they hit 9 threes in the first quarter. You're thinking, that could be a long day, but the rest of the game, they only hit 9 threes. So the shooting kind of, quieted down. But, the Knicks defense, stepping up late when it counts and, making, clutch shots. Mikal Bridges too, ended up having a really strong game, 23-7 playing great defense, plus 14 when he was out on the court. And then, of course, I mean, the Knicks have always, live and die with Jalen Brunson. 39, Tony. 12 assists, 5 boards, and was 4 of 8 from 3-point range. And the Knicks as a team, hit 12 3-pointers. And the difference, in this game, really, if you look at it, the efficiency overall from the floor, 54.3% versus 48.1% from the Celtics. So, we were kind of talking pre-show just about how, there's a split opinion on if the Celtics, still had a chance there before the Tatum injury, took the wind out of their sails. But I mean, I think it was pretty evident before that the Knicks had taken control of this game, but there still was a lot of time left. And I think we both agreed that, you never know what would happen, but I think it can't take away from the fact of how much this team has stepped up late in these games
Yeah.
to beat a team like the Celtics, which, like I said, I mean, people were laughing at the notion of the 39% chance of winning the series. And here they are, up 3-1, looking to go to the conference finals here.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I do think that, because I think Rick and Dave were talking a little bit, or maybe someone who called in about it this morning, because I mean, there is that narrative where it's like, oh, like the Celtics are threes. Oh no, now the Tatum injury. It's like, how could they ever do this? But it's like, I mean, you do have to give the Knicks their credit. I mean, they have had some outstanding, obviously the games have been close, whatever, but they've had some outstanding performances, you know? I mean, Brunson with 39 points last night, and these are like gritty comeback wins. You're seeing like statements being made on the defensive side of the ball here by the Knicks, So, I do think that you do really have to give a lot of credit to the Knicks here, all around for the way they're playing. And I know it is like, oh, the Knicks like live and die by the three, whatever. But I mean, at least in the first half, they were hitting their threes. They made it a game. So for the Knicks to still stick around, and not to mention like they did lose their first game at MSG. Like there was a lot of chatter about them going, oh, like this could be the turnaround for the Celtics.
Control of the series was up for grabs last night, and the Knicks seized that. And also a big part of this, and I always kind of preach this, and I know it goes against all the analytical people out there, but just the fact that, if you're really efficient with your twos, you're going to score more than a team shooting threes. And that's what happened last night. The Knicks doubling up Boston in the paint, 64-32. I mean, talk about a difference in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge right there, dude. And again, it just seems like the Celtics don't have that ability to like adjust in that sense, right? I mean, they're still, I think the second half, they started missing their threes, and then all of a sudden, Knicks are coming back. And they can't make that adjustment to just not throw up as many threes.
And I also thought OG Anunoby had a great game last night. What was it, 20 points? And there was a lot of talk like, oh, he's getting paid all this money, but he can't even score. But I thought, he did a good job, not only driving to the lane, but he had 4 3-pointers as well. And I think that gave them a huge lift. And you have to, too, also respect what Karl Anthony Towns is doing out there. We know the hand is fucked up, and he was still able to give them 23 in 11 last night.
Yeah, it's great, dude. It's awesome.
So the Knicks definitely, in the driver's seat. In Game 5 in Boston, I believe is going to be, on Wednesday, so tomorrow. They haven't had any word on yet, so that's going to be a 7:00 game on TNT. Is Eagle on the call for that one? Do you know?
I would think so, right, dude?
Yeah. I mean, kind of right up his alley. It's a shame, though. If in a potential closeout, it would be nice to have the opportunity to hear a Mike Breen double bang, because he doesn't throw that out all the time.
No, not at all, dude.
But also, we were talking, obviously, of course, and I was talking to Josh B. Earlier this morning. He was saying, job's not done. Got to close it out now. You don't want to have to, worry about it later. But I mean, pretty big opportunity here for the Knicks to go to the NBA Finals. And then once you're in the NBA Finals, you never know what can happen, right?
Yeah, very true. I mean, especially with, not for nothing, some of the upsets we've been seeing in the playoffs already this year. You really don't know what will happen. But I mean, it is like, I wouldn't like be looking past the Celtics right now.
No. But without Tatum, I think that would be pretty embarrassing.
It would be very embarrassing. And if you think about it too, Tatum was having himself a very good game. I think he had 11 points just in the fourth quarter or something like that. But, obviously I would imagine the Celtics turn to Brown, who's been clutch in the past, right? So it's still going to be, I'm sure, a little bit of a fight.
Not going to be easy.
No.
But also you have to like to do, they won both games in Boston already.
Yeah, you do like that.
Like they play, they played there as well. And a win, would secure them their first trip to the conference finals since the 99-2000 season.
Very impressive, dude.
Yeah.
So you can say that they're due, Brian.
They are due. And it's just funny. It kind of just correlates with everything we were kind of talking about, going into this series, that it's like people forget the playoffs. Anything can happen. Nothing is set in stone. So that's why it's like, I think other people are maybe just a little more surprised at this than we are. Not to say that we expected it, but we knew that there was a possibility that it could happen.
Right.
So, Be interesting, but definitely got to, laud what the Knicks are doing right now.
Mhm.
Anything of note here from Michael Bucker, or kind of a ramble, a Tatum?
Celtics cook, dude. He says, I'm glad Tatum's not playing, but Achilles is no joke, he does say. He says, F the Warriors, KP might be getting traded to the Lakers.
Porzingis to the Lakers. Is that what he's saying?
I guess so. And then Jay Bird says, what's up to Josh B?
Jay Bird?
What is
riled.
good, dude? Jay Bird is riled.
But I guess it'll be riled because we're going to talk about his favorite subject in a little bit here. Let's go to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game! Out of sight!
And it works at 100 miles an hour, 14 strikeout.
Drill deep to left field. There it goes! See ya!
All right. So the Yankees continuing their winning ways last night in Seattle. Defeating the Mariners here 11-5. So Clark Schmidt picking up his first victory of the season. And pitched pretty well. There were a couple mistakes, but overall solid, and especially the way this lineup is pitching. 6 innings, allowing 3 earned runs, striking out 6. That's going to give you an opportunity to win a game, every single time, and that's exactly what Schmitty did. So you love to see that. You feel like he's moving in the right direction. Pitch count rising. He was at 92 pitches last night. And just him getting to the 6th inning, for the preservation of this bullpen, especially with the other starters. And, Yarbrough only going 5. Warren, you never know if he will even go 5 at times. I know he was great last time. So big to get 6 innings out of Clark. And if you look at, the summary of this game, kind of something that we've seen recently from the Yankees, which is interesting because it used to be kind of where – they would score a bunch early and then kind of hang on, win that type of way. But now it seems like, a lot of this scoring is kind of happening in the middle part of the game.
Right.
And obviously I think what propels that is quality starting pitching. So we mentioned, Clark only making a couple mistakes. One was a fastball that got too much of the plate against Julio Rodriguez first inning. So that gave Seattle the 1-0 lead. Yankees were held off the board until the top of the 3rd. Trent Grisham just hitting it over Julio Rodriguez, jumping at the wall. And it's interesting because he's been in Seattle a while. We looked at the tape of the couple home runs that were hitting his direction. You would think by now that he would have more sense of timing, but I don't know if it's just a problem reading the ball off the bat. I mean, obviously, we're not complaining, but it seemed like at least one of those he could have caught.
Yeah, I forget whose, maybe it was the Grisham. No, Grisham's home run was off the glove.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one that was like, it was a
No, it was Grisham again.
It was really?
Yeah.
It was the second Grisham one that was right over center. Yeah. And it was just like
Wells too?
The Wells. Yeah,
so
Wells. 3 of them, dude.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think it was one against Wells. It seemed like he was just getting turned around by this ball. And by the time he could even jump, it was like just past the wall. So it's like you said, just like the timing of that center field just doesn't really have down. But I don't know if there was some type of, factor. I don't know, dude. But he was not tracking those balls. Yeah, exactly. It's bad job. Bad job, dude.
Bad job, bad jump. So that was Grisham's 11th of the season. Bottom half of that inning, Clark gives up another home run to Polanco. Who actually has been on fire recently, Jorge Polanco, the former Minnesota Twin. So that gave Seattle a 2-1 lead. But the Yankees answered back in a big way. 5th inning, scoring 6 runs. And it started off with Grisham again. And we say it all the time, but it really is unbelievable. And also, too, that was his 12th home run. Now it's 8 of 12 home runs have tied or given the Yankees the lead, but that tied the game at 2. And he's really giving them a really good problem to have with the playing time with Rice, Dominguez, Bellinger, and then ultimately, when Stanton comes back. So good problem to have, but that, gave the Yankees a 2, tied the game at 2. And then Paul Goldschmidt came up with 2 runners on, scores Aaron Judge from third base. Unbelievable. The contact that Goldie has been making this season. average up to 350 after 2 hits last night.
Jumping on that first pitch slider. Dude.
Yeah,
Very nice.
just ready for it. Cody Bellinger ready for it as well. A single to right scored Ben Rice to make it 4-2. And then we talked about Austin Wells really capping off that inning, a homer to center just over Julio Rodriguez there, the 3-run shot. So that made it 7-2, and that really put the Yankees in the driver's seat. And it's interesting with Wells, kind of a parallel to Jason Dominguez, just in terms of you feel like he's been playing all this season better than maybe the number suggests. Average only at 215, but he has been productive. That was his 8th home run, which I'm sure is up there in terms of catchers, especially in the American League. So like I said, that really kind of put them in the driver's seat. Clark, goes to 6 innings, and then, Austin Wells actually has a sac fly there in the 7th to make it 8-2. So at that point, Yankees go to the bullpen, which was, as it's really been, all season long, pretty good. I mean, the only snafu there was, Cal Raleigh, hitting a 2-run homer off of Tim Hill. And before that, the inning before, Moore had singled in Rosarena. So, after that home run, 8-5, Devin Williams, comes in, gets that final out of the 8th inning. But fortunately for the Yankees, they pad on some more runs, no reason to leave Williams in or go to the closer after Volpe hits a 2-run homer. So that's a guy, the Yankees, and like we've been talking about, but all these metrics, top of the league run score, but you still feel like you want more from Volpe. So it was good to see him go deep. He was 2 for 3 last night. So the average is up to 245. So you hope that that's coming to be, something sustainable. And then Aaron Judge with a sac fly, and it was just such a shame, going into this play, you're already up 5, you don't really need any more runs. Kind of a weird play too, where it seemed like Cabrera would have been in there if he didn't slide. He takes an awkward step, and it seems like he broke his ankle. I think we'll find out about it today, but just a terrible scene down in the ground, wincing in pain, ambulance out on the field. And it was just so tough. You saw the emotion, not only from the Yankees, but the Seattle Mariners just being out there on the field. Anytime you see someone carted off like that, you could relate so well. It's just so sad, especially a guy like Oswaldo Cabrera, very well liked. And, obviously you don't know till all the tests are done, but it seems like this is something that will end his season.
Yeah, dude. His ankle looked pretty bad when he had to make that hard stop. His body went one way when his ankle went the other, sort of deal, so obviously you hope for as simple and easy recovery as you can for him, but it definitely didn't look good.
No, and that will definitely, not only obviously the important thing is you want Oswaldo okay, and you like you said, you wish him a speedy recovery. But that kind of, leaves a hole now because he had been getting the vast majority of starts at third base. You have Vivas, Reyes, and Oswald Peraza on the roster, but also DJ LeMahieu, Tony, is going to be activated today. And he was rehabbing, playing second base with Corey at Somerset. But you would think now, but actually, he could go to third base, but I think just range-wise, I would think you would want him at second and then put Peraza at third. Reyes and Vivas can play both positions as well. So I'm sure they're going to rotate guys in there. But I guess it's one of those things where I think the Yankees in this situation, given the way the offense has produced, they're just going to prioritize defense. So whoever's going to really give them the best chance at the hot corner. I like Peraza. Ideally, I would really like, Peraza to hold down that job at third, play good defense, and then hopefully Vivas can see second and DJ kind of fill in. But, I know he's going to get an opportunity. But do you think, and, obviously after this win, Hamilton pitching the scoreless bottom of the ninth, that at 24-17 and, continuing their winning ways up until the trade deadline, that this is gonna, this injury is gonna propel them to, acquire a third baseman, like an Arenado, or do you think they'll look at it where they can fill it all eternally and they're getting enough offense as it is?
That's tough, dude. I mean, I personally probably would look internally, but I can see them going after, like an Arenado. I mean, I feel like if you look, especially the Yankees historically, I mean, they do go after like that bigger name. I feel like at a trade deadline, and Arenado is probably going to be one of those players who was being shopped. So yeah, I could see it.
Well, and especially too because there's concerns about, is he still that good offensively?
Arenado,
yeah, but defensively he is good. The only thing is, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Cardinals seem like they were earning all offseason to trade him, but they're only one game back of the Cubs right now.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy. Obviously, I guess the year they're having so far, I guess. But I mean, they're a team that needs to kind of retool a little bit. Like, regardless if Arenado's doing well or not, if they're doing well right now or not, they're not a World Series team. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah. So I think it would just be a matter of coming to terms on compensation and how much of the salary you're paying. I mean, his numbers 264, 4 homers, 766. I mean, it would be an upgrade from what you're getting right now, slightly, really. Actually, I mean, not even that much. But defensively, I think metrically, he's still one of the best in the game.
Yeah, he is. And I'd be interested to hear what his does he want to leave St. Louis? I mean. Yeah, I would think that he's a little sour over there.
Yeah. You would think, and I know he was very close friends with Paul Goldschmidt with their time on St. Louis.
There we go.
So I could see, him wanting to rejoin his old buddy.
I could see that.
And I just wanted
his old buddy.
Jeez, all right, dude. What? It just seemed like a call out.
No.
What did Josh B say, by the way?
He said that he's still working, chilling near Jay, dude. And then he says he, as in Cabrera, broke everything, dude.
Yeah. So it's just that was you just hate it, and especially because watching that. I mean, isn't the first thing that comes to your mind that? And I know it's like, well, I mean, it clearly couldn't have been because it happened, but it just felt like something that could have been avoided.
Yes, it could have been, he did make a really weird, I guess you can call it athletic movement, but I mean, regardless of who you're rooting for, and even if you're just kind of tuned into the game for whatever reason, you still wince at that,
Yeah.
And like you said, I think it could have been something that was avoided, but I mean, obviously accidents as well as injuries happen. So,
and I'm reading this article of 2 days ago. They're saying, I guess Bob Nightingale reported this, Tony, but I guess that no one's really inquired about Arenado since he rejected trades to the Astros and the Angels. But you would think this injury, would change things.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
But again, I mean, I'm sure just knowing, especially Cashman. I mean, Cashman is just obviously he's not happy with the Cabrera injury, but I think he is cheesing at the notion of LeMahieu getting back in the lineup, right? He just wants to save that contract. Yep. Oh, he came back and he was, quality guy for us. But I don't know. I mean, what type of percentage would you give, LeMahieu not only staying healthy this season, but just actually giving you something more than a negative WAR?
Jesus, dude. I mean, I think you're looking at around like a 17.5%, right?
Yeah.
But what do you think the Yankees should do, though? Do you want them to go get Arenado? I mean,
yeah, because I mean, I just think it's what is it really going to cost you, and especially the fact if you're willing to absorb a decent amount of that contract. I mean, I don't think you're giving up anything of consequence. So at the end of the day, it just becomes money. And I know we've looked this up before, but I just wanted to look up the exact specifics, of this contract. So I'm pulling up the. Okay, so what it is this season he's making 32, next year 22, and then 27 would be 15. So past this year, you would be committing $37 million over the 2 years. And I guess you could see if they, I think even if they ate a little of the money, I think the Yankees still, you're not giving up anybody that you even know their name. It's not like this is like a Jones or a Lombard situation. So I'm honestly for it just because of the defensive side of things. I mean, we'll see how Oswald Peraza holds down the hot corner or if DJ gets an opportunity there. But just the fact that regardless of what he does offensively, that he's just going to be locked down at third. And obviously the chemistry him and Goldschmidt must have.
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. It's funny looking at his contract with all the deferred money. He's deferring, $2 or $3 million per year until 2041, dude.
Good business.
Yeah, I guess so, dude.
This way, you're not going to blow it at the tables,
Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably nice for a player. I mean,
security.
Exactly. There's a lot of security, dude.
Yeah. So be interesting to see, what they do. Also, shout out to Michael, who says legends. So always, always good to hear from Michael.
Yes,
and,
it is.
Yankees have another late first pitch here in Seattle. Max Fried, arguably the best pitcher in the majors this year, 6-0, 105. Yankees are 8-0. In his starts. So he's on the mound here. So you feel pretty good about that. Brian Wu, kind of underrated, just in terms of pitchers across Major League Baseball, but only a 325 earned run average, .92 whip. And he's 4-1. So the 25-year-old Oakland, California native did get knocked around, but it was in Oakland. We know how the ball flies around there.
Okay.
But his previous 4 starts, he went at least 6 innings and gave up 3 runs or less. So, I don't think it's going to be easy, and maybe as easy as it was against Emerson, not Eric, but Emerson Hancock last night. But I mean, honestly, I feel great just because I think, top to bottom, this lineup is just producing. I mean, you didn't even have Jason Dominguez in there yesterday. And you like that Cody Bellinger seems like he's popping out of it. I mean, really, as well as Volpe and Wells. So it just feels like finally, I mean, it's been such a long time where you feel good about the lineup 1 through 9. So that's the thing. It's like, so then you couple that with Max Fried on the hill. I mean, it's hard not to feel really good, coming into tonight's game.
Yeah, you should be feeling great, dude. I mean, again, you should be ripping the cover off the ball.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. The Yankees after yesterday, the 11 more runs here. So up to 246 runs on the season. And that's 8 more than the second place team there, the Chicago Cubs. And then the run differential is at +81. Now second due to the Tigers blowing out Boston yesterday, which we definitely don't mind. They're at plus 84. What a story that is, the Tigers. I mean, I know, they were in the, ALDS last year, but just, I think a lot of people kind of rolled their eyes at, them, kind of following up on that, Tony. And they've been one of the best teams, underrated teams in the league.
Very underrated, dude. I mean, and from top to bottom, I mean, their rotation's been great, obviously. And right now they're tied for the best record in baseball.
Yeah.
Dude.
So, going to be interesting. Would not be surprised if the Yankees, run into them, and just the fact that Javi Baez is hitting over 300 right now. Kind of crazy, as well as Gleyber Torres, 5 homers, 304. So, going to be interesting to follow that story well. Riley Green,
John Pollock,
but Jason Libertelli. Can't wait a second, Tony. So you might as well talk about the highlights from the Mets game yesterday.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was a pretty great game. I know you didn't watch any of it, but
I don't know. Remember, I told you.
Yeah, the top of the beginning when there was
Skeens
halftime at the Knicks. Yes, dude.
Yes, did see it.
And Skeens did pitch well, and I know you're looking at it's Pittsburgh, whatever. What are they, like 8 games under 500?
O'Neal Cruz out of the lineup. New manager.
But regardless, I mean,
14 games under, by the way.
When Paul Skeens is pitching on the mound, dude,
they can beat anybody.
Literally 1-0. So, in any case, dude, as we said, the Mets do get the dub here, and it was kind of a thriller. I'm not going to lie here, because bottom of the first, I guess. Well, I guess you start at the top. Peterson 3 up, 3 down, as usual, dude. But in any case, bottom of the first here, Skeens does get into trouble. I believe he gives up a leadoff hit to Lindor, who, like, I mean, how many freaking times are we going to say that this year? In any case, walks Soto after that, so kind of struggles to find the strike zone a little bit. But then, you think, wow, like 2 runners on, there's nobody out. Like, Mets could do some damage. Alonso grounds out, double play. Nimmo strikes out. Skeens gets out of it.
Meet Paul Skeens.
Literally.
Livy Dunn in the crowd.
Livy
They were
Dunn in
panning
the
to her
crowd.
way too much.
Loved her,
Keith,
dude.
Keith
She
must
was.
have directed that.
Oh,
I think,
yeah, dude. They
Slimy
showed her
little
on the
bastard.
field before the first pitch, too, dude. Absolutely. Keith is all over that. And speaking of all over it here, we'll go top of the second where the Pirates do score first, courtesy of an IKF solo shot, dude.
Swinging the bat pretty well.
Swinging the bat pretty well. And it was funny on the broadcast, of course. They're talking about IKF. They're talking about Ralph Kiner at the same time. Okay, dude. And then, of course, he cranks a homer, like as they're talking about Ralph Kiner.
But there's no court. I mean, there's nothing to do, right? Or Kiner Falefa, like it has nothing to do with Ralph Kiner.
They are related. They're blood related.
Stop.
Swear to God, that's what they're talking about on the broadcast.
Really?
Yes. It's like distant cousin or something like that,
That's
dude.
nuts.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy.
I feel like adding the hyphen is a little cheap. Like, why do we need to do that?
Is that his decision, you think, though, or like
No. But I'm saying his parents.
Yeah, his parents. Yeah.
Like,
But why-
if it's set, like honor the history of it. No.
yeah, I guess so. Right? No,
Right.
I don't know. The mother maybe doesn't want that. Who knows? The wife.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Right? Just divorce, right? Want to keep the name of the family, right?
Oh, dude. In any case, he gets his first homer of the year, actually, for IKF, so it was a big deal for him.
Hitting 288.
Hitting the ball very well. In any case, I guess Peterson was able to settle down a little bit. I mean, that was kind of like a one-off, just change up that was honestly like kind of low in a way. So IKF went down for it. Gets Canario to fly out after that, and then strikes out Triolo and Davis. So again, Peterson working well, the four-seamer locating it. It's not like he really had any issues there. Just a good homer there. And then things were pretty copacetic. We had a little bit of a pitcher's duel for about 2-3 innings. It was 3 up, 3 downs. Peterson, again, working strikeouts with the fastball. Skeens, throwing that sweeper, the splitter to get a lot of groundouts and stuff like that. And we'll go to bottom of the fourth, where Skeens does give up a leadoff double to Brendan Nimmo. Four-seamer a little bit down the middle, ropes it to center, strikes out Vientos. But then McNeil, another double, first pitch curveball, didn't really go as 12-6 as Skeens probably wanted. Ropes that double to tie up the game as Nimmo scores. After that, Skeens will be able to get out of the inning. And at this point, we can go to top of the fifth here. Peterson still in the game here. Gets Canario to line out to center. But again, Triolo doubles to left, dude. So you got a runner on second here, 1 out. And then Davis here ropes a hard hit, bouncing ball to third base. Brett Beatty dives, catches it. Probably honestly saves a run with Triolo on second. Throws Davis out at first. So you love to see that. So it was 2 outs. Triolo was stranded at second here still. And then Hayes, unfortunately, reaches as, again, they're talking about Beatty, great defensive play, ground ball off his glove. It was in the hole. It was, they logged it as a hit. It wasn't an error on him, but still hit his glove sort of deal. I ended up kind of trickling over past Lindor. Triolo moved to third. But then Peterson showing some nice grit here, a 5-pitch at bat. Gets Reynolds to end up striking out, swinging on a slider low and away. So it was a great out there for Peterson. And then we'll go now top of the 7th here. Peterson still in, dude. Still tie game. I probably honestly maybe would have left him in, but he walks Triolo. I think it was 9 or 7 pitch at bat. It was a 10 pitch at bat, actually. At that point, Mendoza, wasted no time, pulling Peterson. He had a good final line, though. As I have my fantasy app open. He had 6 innings pitched, gave up just obviously the 1 earned run off the solo shot, 6 hits. Wait, no, that wasn't 6 hits. It was 5 hits, 3 walks, 7 Ks, dude. Through 100 pitches. So again, another quality start for him. His ERA is a 3.05.
Really never saw it coming with Peterson.
Literally, me neither.
Remember he had that hot start we were joking, Cy Young candidate, and then he was pretty bad. And then all of a sudden last year he's pitching really well, and it's carried over into the season.
Yeah, again, almost like another scenario with Detroit, too. I mean, I didn't think he would follow up this year with another good season, to be honest, because of all those past years where it was just so kind of shaky.
Yeah.
But it was good to see him find himself here. We bring in Buteau here, which is pretty interesting, dude. So he strikes out Davis to start off. But I believe, or maybe during the Davis at bat, Trill's on second, and he throws over to second back-to-back times, right? So it's like, okay, you did it twice. If you do it a third time, you have to get him out. And he does it a third time. They don't get him out, and it's a balk. So Trill moves over to third because of that, which is like, I mean, I've never seen that since that rule was put in place where someone does go for the third, the third throw over.
Yeah. That doesn't,
So like, I thought that was like, I don't know if he just had a brain fart or if he just for sure
he was going to get
him, but like kind of a crazy, risky move when it's a tie game and the runner's on second. You're moving him over to third.
Great.
Not great at all. And then you strike out Davis. You have one out with the runner on third base. You walk Hayes. The runners on the corners, dude. Excuse me. Reynolds at the plate, grounds out. They try to turn two. They don't. So that's the second out of the game, of the inning, I should say. Runner scores. A game now 2-1 in favor of the Pirates. And then Buteau gets McCutchen a ground out. And then they threw Reynolds out in second. So I guess limited damage, but still kind of a weird inning. We'll go why not now. Bottom of the seventh here. Ferguson in here pitching for Pittsburgh. Paul Skeens ended his night, dude. Skeens also obviously had a solid night. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 6 Ks. So, I mean, listen, didn't give up a lot of damage, didn't give up a lot, but in terms of his damage, I think Mets did a good job in hitting him around. And how about this for a stat, Brian? 6 hits given up. Paul Skeens has not had a start where he's given up more than 6 hits in the majors, which is ridiculous. That guy obviously still super dialed, the beard, yes, will be done, whatever. But that was the end of his night. Craig Ferguson comes in, and wouldn't you know it, the Mets do start some scoring here. Taylor leading off the inning, hit by a pitch, not good. Acuna, what do you know, reaches on an infield single. Taylor ends up going to third here. Lindor up, strikes out swinging, but Soto grounded out the first. Taylor scores. Acuna goes to second. Because of that, they pull Ferguson. Game is now tied. Holderman comes in, and this was kind of crazy. Alonso here hits a hard hit ground ball to third. Bounces off a glove. IKF goes to grab it. Acuna, kind of crazy, dude, goes from second to home on that play.
Oh, wow.
So again, I mean, his speed has been absolutely killing other teams. And the fact that he's been getting on base more and more, he's just an absolute weapon creating runs with his speed, dude. And it was honestly kind of crazy. I thought he was going to get thrown out because, like, he rounds third and he's, like, looking over his shoulder at IKF picking the ball up. And I'm like, dude, there's no way. And he just has, like, a perfect slide. I will say the catcher, Davis, was, like, behind home plate. Like, he didn't really position himself well to throw Acuna out. But Acuna still had the speed, had a perfect slide, too. Went in feet first, actually, on the outside corner, caught the plate with his hand, just missing the tag. So, I mean, obviously, you love that. Tying the game, dude. Taking the lead because of that, 3-2. So you have to see that if that Nimmo fouls out to third, ending the inning. So Mets move on late night with the lead, which is great. Let's go top of the first, where we see a lot of top of the eighth. I don't know if you saw Nimmo's catch off of Joey Bart was absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, actually, that came up on my Twitter.
Literally everything J-Rod was trying to do against the Yankees, Nimmo did here against the Pirates, and that would have been a solo shot that would have tied the game up. Instead, Nimmo perfectly times this one in left field and catches it over the wall. Great job there. Obviously, Nunez, who is pitching for the Mets, little tip of the hat for him. But let's go now, top of the ninth here, where the Mets honestly start to implode a little bit here. Canario leadoff single. Brazoban at this point is pitching, who has shown some weaknesses, but for the most part has been fine. Triolo grounds out into a fielder's choice here to shortstop. Everybody is safe at that point, everyone else anyway, because the ball just hits off of Lindor's glove. So an error there by Lindor, which we've seen a couple times late in games so far, keeping runners on the bags. Not good in this one-run game. Davis sacrificed bunt to move people up. And then Hayes reaches an infield single. They don't score us an error or anything, but it was off of Acuna's glove in the infield that ended up giving up the lead here. So obviously not great by Acuna and Lindor. But after that, they do end up turning to Reynolds grounds out double play. to Acuna, and then obviously Lindor throws out Hayes at first. So you'll have to see that, dude, ending the inning, but tie game going to the bottom of the ninth. And wouldn't you know it, the Pirates did the same thing. Acuna starts off this inning striking out, swinging. Lindor safe on a fielding error by IKF. Literally same deal that happened to Lindor off his glove. Like,
should have made the play.
Should have made the play.
Wow.
Like, absolutely. Lindor's safe. Soto singles to move Lindor to third, and then that'll set up Alonso for the walk-off sack fly.
Water jug or no?
Water jug, hat. Yeah, absolutely,
wow.
Dude.
There you go.
It was definitely a great game. I mean, it was a good win, a gutsy win here for the Mets. Again, I know the Pirates aren't a great team, but you can ask anyone who is previewing this series if there was going to be a loss, it would be Game 1 against Paul Skeens. Instead, they walk it off in the ninth, 4-3. And they live to play Game 2 today, which obviously the setup for Game 2 is much better than what you are looking against Skeens. You do have Kadai on the mound, who's been absolutely lights out, and you are batting against Mitch Keller, who has only 1 win, 4 losses on the season, of 4.4 ERA, and you look at his last few starts. Does give up runs in every one of those starts. St. Louis, they lost 5-0. San Diego, 5 innings, 4 earned runs. Dodgers, 6 innings, only 2 earned runs, but still is someone notably giving up the long ball as well, giving up 3 home runs in those 5 starts. So Mitch Keller, who maybe another pitcher people thought would be doing better right now, kind of isn't. So the Mets are in a good position to take Game 2 tonight.
I'm curious because I remember that one crazy, outing against the Mets. Wait, was that 2 years ago?
Mitch Keller?
Yeah.
It could have been last season, to be honest.
Like, it was like almost a complete game shutout, I feel like.
Let's see, dude. Mitch Keller. Almost. I guess we could just look up the splits, versus the Mets. Mitch Keller versus Mets stats.
4 games. How about this?
What do you got?
2 ERA.
Wow,
21
strikeouts.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So
let's see. I'm trying to see.
no, so it was that start last year.
The 8-inning one.
The 2 runs late.
Yeah.
But obviously they still ended up prevailing there.
And I will say, Mitch Keller last year was definitely much different looking than he is right now. So
you feel good?
I feel pretty good, dude. With Kadai in the mound, I mean, you imagine a couple runs given up, dude.
Now,
so that's
being that you already beat Skeens, and then you got Kadai tonight,
and then
you mentioned
Faulkner, right?
Yeah, Falter. 4.40 ERA for Keller so far this year. But I mean, are you going to be highly disappointed with anything other than a sweeper?
Yes.
So
yeah, I mean the bar is set pretty high right now. I mentioned Detroit being tied for the best record in baseball. They're tied with the Mets. So you're hoping that the Mets at this point against this team, the Pirates, can finish off a sweep, which I guess maybe we haven't had a sweep since the 4-game set against the Cards, I guess. So it'd be nice to get that under our belt, another sweep, and then you feel pretty good going into this weekend,
And how about shout out Donna Lee? I saw she's with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Donna. She says very lucky to watch Ralph and Lindsay Nelson.
Do we know what she means?
No.
I guess she'll tell us.
I guess she will tell us.
And what Ernie said?
Ernie made it back for the grid, I see.
Coming.
But
first, we got to update the picks, unless they're updated.
Picks are updated. I updated them before the show here. You gained a game on me.
Yeah, so we're tied?
No, I had 3 games.
Oh, I thought you had 1 game when we
No.
talked about this yesterday. Huh.
Oh, wait. You know what, dude? No, you're right.
Yeah,
I took the wrong fucking stats.
Wow.
Because I thought the same thing when I was writing it down. When I was updating them. Okay, yeah. So, all right. So you went 5-1, but your record was 49-35.
What was the one?
Tigers had the Tigers lost, or they had the under.
Oh, and they were
the Tigers in the over.
Okay, gotcha. No. Or I probably picked the under.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. Rangers. You put the Rangers to win.
The over. No, because Rangers won. But I'm saying it went under, so that's why. Okay,
that was a 3-1.
Yeah,
that made you 3-1 after 2.
Okay, so what is
So then, so you're 54 and 36.
And you're 54 and 36.
That's correct.
I feel like my winning percentage last week has to be 800.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like absolutely outstanding, dude.
definitely gives me some confidence going into this. Yeah, and I think both the Yankees and the Mets, in good spots right now, leading their respective divisions, seem to be, playing some of their best baseball this season. So it's exciting. I wish the Yankees ran a little earlier so I could catch more of it, but I'll catch what I can, and it's always fun to see Max Fried on the hill. But I think we have both have the same expectation tonight for our teams win the series tonight. And let's go. And obviously momentum building, Tony, for Yankee Stadium Friday night. I mean, it's gonna get crazy.
It is gonna be really.
We talk
nuts,
about
dude.
arrests. I mean, there's got to be some, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
I would absolutely say so, dude. Some casualties are going to be out there, dude.
Like nothing, like no fatalities.
Fatalities, like casualties, like people are going to go to jail.
It's so like crazy how it has to get to that point. Right?
I know.
The drinking, right? I mean,
The drinking.
If everyone was just ripped, it wouldn't happen.
It's an interesting theory.
Some
maybe.
people have an anger problem,
right?
Anyway,
yeah, it's true. That is true. And by the way, Donna was referring to Ralph Kiner and Lindsey Nelson on TV from 62 to 78, dude.
A little before our time, but
dude.
definitely an astute observation by Donna.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know. I'm not aware of Lindsey Nelson, dude. That's gonna be interesting. She's a television commentator, 62, 78.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah, I think it's time, Tony, to strike up the music. An MLB 6-pack pick segment brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm. And I believe I am batting leadoff.
That is correct, dude.
All right. So we've tied things up. What are we gonna do from this point?
No mistakes, Brian.
Forward? No mistakes.
No mistakes.
But I don't think there's any mistakes that are going to be made tonight. Max Fried dialed. We talked about the Yankees 8-0 in his starts. He's 6-0, 105. Yankees minus 145 favorites here over Seattle, plus 120. Woo, 4-1, 3.25 ERA so far this year. And obviously the Mariners, who are red hot going into this homestand, have now lost 4 games in a row. So the Yankees look to make it 5, and I don't think that they will have really any trouble doing that. I think Fried, like we've seen all season, I mean, I say mark him down for 7 innings. I mean, I know that's crazy to say this day and age with the way starting pitching is, but he is a different breed, like a Garrett Cole. You'd always expect him to go deep into these games. So I think he'll go 7 innings. I think he's only going to give up 1 run. I think he'll strike out 9, Tony. And I think the Yankees, will score. I think, maybe a couple early, and then kind of really jump over this Mariners bullpen late. Because I think we'll give them somewhat of a challenge to start anyway. So I think when it's all said and done, we're going to see Jason Dominguez go 3 for 4 here with a homer. So that might be an Ernie total bases prop. And give Judge a dinger as well. But I think at the end of the day, I think the Yankees will win this game. Let's say 7-2. So it's going to be the Yankees and the over.
Yankees and the over, and we'll move over to Citi Field now as the Mets game 2. Pirates, we're talking about Kadai dialed. Wouldn't be crazy to say he gives you 7 or maybe 2 earned run ball, maybe 3 earned run ball. It doesn't really matter. Because honestly, I think the bats are going to come absolutely alive against Mitch Keller. We mentioned Mitch Keller's appearances against the Mets. A lot of them coming from last season. Mets were a different team. Lindor wasn't batting this well. Mitch Keller was pitching better. No Soto as well, even though we can go on about him not really doing that great. In any case, dude, Mets absolutely take the dub here. And I'm going to say, like Lindor, leadoff home run starting the game. Dude.
Wow.
Absolutely. We've seen it before. We'll see it again tonight, dude. And then from there, the snowballing Alonso, maybe Vientos, Beatty, who's been absolutely killing it since he's been called up. Let's throw him in there for a homer as well. And I see the Mets tack it on late as well. Maybe let's call it 7-3 Mets in the over.
Okay.
Let's do that, dude.
All right. So we'll see if we can get the 2 New York wins once again. But moving along here to number two. And these are very, very important picks as we're coming to the stretch run.
They are.
So, there are a couple places I could go. But you know what? I'll just go back to the well. I know sometimes they lose, but I don't care. I'm going to go with the Texas Rangers here. I know it was close yesterday, only 2-1. I think they're going to have a better performance today. And I know Jack Leiter hasn't been great. 2-2, 509, but Kyle Freeland, 0-5, 641. The Rangers are going to swing the bats here. Adolis Garcia, I have him for fantasy. Could use a little uptick. So hopefully he can put a couple out tonight. I mean, the Rockies have won 2 road games this season, 2-18. I think they're 2-19 after this one. And I think this is where we see the Rangers, who struggled to score yesterday, only scoring 2 runs, put up a 10 spot. And I think they win 10-2. So that would be the Rangers and I believe the over. Rangers and the over for number 2.
Rangers and the over. My next game here, I think we're going to keep it inside the NL East. Yes, dude. Let's go to Truist Park, dude. Why not? Let's go to Atlanta, Georgia. The Braves taking on the Nationals for the first time this season. Braves not doing great, 20-21 here. They do have a great home record, though. 13 of their wins are coming from home. They're 13-6 at home. They're against the Nationals right now. The Nationals trying to make it a 7-game losing streak tonight. Mike Soroka on the mound, the former Brave himself, dude. Kind of a sad story for Soroka, obviously, but even though the Braves have been doing well, I think they're going to make it a 7th loss in a row here. We did take game 1, I guess, yesterday 4-3. Schwellenbach on the mound here for the Braves, who I guess has been doing okay. 3.61 ERA. Pitched his first scoreless outing against the Reds. 6 innings, no earned runs. And I just think against Washington, he'll probably do well. Soroka gets popped a little bit. I'm going to say give me the Braves. Over-under's 8.5. I would say give me the over. Braves and the over as well. Let's go, dude.
All right. So number three. They didn't win last night, but I think they will rebound and win tonight. And last time we saw Dylan Cease pitch. He had a no-hitter, I believe, going into the 7th inning at Yankee Stadium, and then left. And I believe, it wasn't anything serious there in terms of an injury. So he's good to go back on the mound. And he struggled this year. 4.91 ERA, but I think against the Angels, who I know had the big, 5-run ninth, it's very surprising off of Robert Suarez, one of the best closers in the league, throwing over 100. And you have Soriano on the hill for the Angels, 17-23. We know the deal. No Trout. And I think it was it's Jose Soriano. But we know it was a nice win, last night. And they've won, 2 out of their last 3 here. But the Padres, after losing back-to-back games to the Rockies and the Angels, giving up 9 runs in each game, I think are going to bounce back, play their game, lean on their strengths, go to their bullpen, and I think they'll take care of the Angels here. I'm going to say 7-1. So give me the Padres and the over, which is 7.5.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Good for you, dude. And I guess my last game here, third game, I'll do it. I'll take it, dude. Let's go to Dodgers Stadium as the Dodgers take on the Athletics, dude. You can imagine Dodgers favorite over under 9.5. Jeffrey Springs against Landon Knack on the mound. Both ERAs above a 4.5 for them. Dodgers first time playing the A's. I think trying to make an example maybe out of them after splitting that series against the D-backs. Nonetheless, I think the ball will be flying around. I think Dodgers win this game. I mean, they could put up a 10 spot, but I'm going to say 9-3. Give me Dodgers in the over for my last one, dude.
And just like that, that is your 6-pack MLB picks. So stretch run, obviously, we're hyped up for the Yankees, for the Mets.
Have we been this close before? I don't think so.
In terms of
down
picks?
to the stretch? Yeah, dude.
Probably not. Honestly, I mean, I think then again, there probably was a couple times, but it doesn't happen often.
Definitely not, dude.
And then Donna Lee, I think she
Leiter
was thinking
sucks.
I was talking about Mark Leiter Jr.
Mar-
I had to
yeah,
guess
maybe.
who, his nephew Jack.
Mhm.
But either way, I mean, I understand the sentiment. He's pitched some big games for the Yankees, but he definitely has that tendency to give up the big blow. Like we like to talk about, Tony. But
the big blow.
we know what Ernie is yearning for here, and that would be yet another edition of the Immaculate Grid. So we have it pulled up on the screen here. And I think to get started, top right, let's do former closer Greg Holland, Tony.
Greg Holland. Bang,
3%.
dude.
There we go.
How about this, dude? We can do Cookie for Cleveland, sub 3.
Sub 3, definitely.
Definitely. I looked it up when he was on the Mets.
All right.
It's
That
not.
should be a very low percentage.
Right? I mean, who's going to think
Not
about him,
gonna
dude?
even listen
Cookie
to this
Carrasco.
guy.
Yeah.
I think that was more of a Mets thing.
Nah.
I really don't remember it, though, pre-Mets.
No,
Cookie, right?
definitely not.
All right. So we got All-Stars.
Washington.
We got, so for Kansas City A's, like, is Jermaine Dye too high? There's other places to go.
Right.
Miguel Tejada.
I think that would be a good one,
Yeah,
right?
go Miguel
Let's
Tejada.
go Tejada. Oh,
Yeah, yada.
yeah, yada. Miguel Tejada. 3%. Okay,
very
not bad.
Good. And then the All-Star for Kansas City here. Do we go Seth Lugo?
Ooh, yeah, I think so,
Yeah,
right?
I
That
don't
wouldn't be
think
too
it's
high. 0.7. Wow,
Not
nobody
too
thinks about him,
high at
huh?
all.
Wow, dude.
Moving on here, Washington and the A's. Just trying to think about this for a second. Sean Doolittle.
Sean Doolittle.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. The glasses.
Yes. The Shades.
The shades, dude. Oh,
Boy, that's
yeah, that
very
is surprising.
I didn't know he was such a fan favorite, Tony.
I guess. Interesting.
Rendon for the All-Star for Washington?
Yeah, right. People probably want to forget about him.
Yeah,
3%.
There you go. And then the 3 ERA unders. I don't know if Trinan did it. I was just trying to think on the closer side of things because I feel like everyone's going to say Strasburg or Scherzer. We know it wasn't Patrick
Corbin. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think also, Expos closers. Just trying to think, though, if Blake Trinan, I don't know if it was, he found his success once he was on the A's.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doolittle might have actually done it.
Yeah.
You faced the
Who was their
Nationals over
closer
the
when they
years.
won the World Series?
I don't know. I can't think. But
Yeah,
all these
me
years,
too.
like, no closers come to mind.
That has
Nats.
that I know for sure is a sub 3. I don't know.
I mean, we could think about it for a
Yeah.
second. All-Star for Cleveland. What do we got here?
Let's see.
Anything we
Royals
could
A's
use?
we did. Nats A's we did. Cleveland A's. Geronimo Baroa.
I do remember him.
Geronimo. Oh. Baroa.
0.4,
0.4,
so the
dude.
All-Star for Cleveland.
Thank you, Ernie.
Do we go Corey Kluber? Do we go Manny Ramirez?
I feel like Manny would be way higher than Kluber.
Yeah, I think Kluber is fine.
1%.
1%. All right.
Kluber is
it just
definitely
says
fine.
Washington under.
Oh.
Ryan Madsen, no. I can't believe we don't remember who their closer was when they won the title. I just have no recollection of this. Was it Doolittle?
It honestly may have been Doolittle.
And I don't remember Expos closers at all.
Patrick Corbin?
No, but he didn't have sub 3. He didn't. He was over
Right?
3. It was a good season that first year, but it was not under 3.
There's no way.
Just trying to think here. I mean, this isn't Ernie from Kearney. I mean, We need him here. Did Ugi Urbina?
Finnegan.
Oh, Kyle Finnegan, but he's not under 3 either.
I doubt it.
Ugi Urbina, though, I feel like was on Montreal, right?
Sub 3?
Before he went to prison.
I think so.
This is one of those where Ernie would go, you can use Urbina. You can do Urbina.
Kyle Finnegan. He seems to believe in Kyle Finnegan,
I've had him
dude.
for fantasy, and his ERA has been over 3. I know it, Tony. I mean, obviously, we have the Scherzers and,
Strasburg, but they're going to be so high, dude.
So
Who else was in that rotation?
Joe Blanton.
Oh, God.
I'm almost tempted to just get Ernie on the dial. I'm surprised he's not watching unless he doesn't know, not to kind of call him out. But I almost want to just give Ernie a call.
Yeah. I mean, the last Ernie sighting was 3 minutes ago, so I don't know. Oh,
Let's see. Oh,
don't even bother.
he's
dude.
calling?
Yeah, he's calling right now.
Okay.
Stand by here. I wonder if he's got an answer. We never know. Sean Doolittle.
We already used Doolittle.
We already used Doolittle. Ernie, there we go. You're
Ernie.
on. Ernie.
Hello.
Yo,
What's going on,
dude.
man?
Here.
You're.
So I do have an answer for you guys.
What do we got?
All right. So you can use Expo pictures, right?
Yes. Pedro Martinez?
Okay. No, that's too high. You can either
Randy
go
Johnson.
Mark Langston.
Mark
No,
Langston.
Pascual Perez, bro.
Pascual Perez?
Pascual Perez?
I mean, I would think that's got to be 0.000. We don't see that coming up, though. How do you spell Pascual?
Pascual.
C.
Okay, there we go. So 1980 to 91?
Yes, sir.
All right. 29.
Dude. Pascal with a 0.2, dude.
I mean, I have to say, Ernie, this was an outstanding grid for us, and we appreciate the assist there. I was shocked to see the 17% for Doolittle.
Yeah, the highest, I guess.
Because you got to remember, a lot of people aren't thinking about Expos players. They're thinking about when they see Nationals, they forget that the Nationals are the old Montreal team. So Pedro might not have been. Pedro might have been as high just because, like the older generation. But you got a lot of people our age playing this, and not many people know. People pre 95.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I guess Josh also said Gio Gonzalez had a year too, which is kind of interesting. And I forget too, was it 9? Was that your lowest grid score or no?
Yeah, my lowest score was 9.
Wow. I think we've really hit our strides with these, but I don't. Did we get 13 one time, Tony?
I believe our highest, I may still have
lowest.
it here. Our lowest, is 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah, 14.
But I will admit, the only reason I got 9 that day was because the grid itself that I got 9 on was extremely easy. It was no subcategories. It was teams and all-stars. That's it. That's all it was teams and all-stars. So it just so happened that it was a very easy grid that day. I had just finished a sports Twitter scroll. I just got off the game. It was too good of a combination, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect 9."
And also Michael with a live comment says me and him got 13. So I do. That's probably what I was thinking of, because I think that was what I was thinking, the 13.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So Michael with the little good luck charm there. But what do you think too, Ernie? As Waldo last night, what do you think the plan's going to be at third base now?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, I was talking about this with my dad yesterday watching the game, and what of a perfect timing for LeMahieu to come back.
But I mean, I would think. It would be LeMahieu at second, and they'll try Vivas and Peraza at third, I guess.
No, I think it's going to be Peraza and LeMahieu at third, and then
Vivas at second with Reyes.
Vivas and Peraza at second. Like, Peraza is going to be platooning now, second and third, with Vivas and LeMahieu is what I think the plan's going to be, just because, look, they're already rehabbed him. They said he's probably going to start on Wednesday. So, it's just so happens that the injury opens up a inevitable decision in LeMahieu starting again. I mean, now listen, is the long rehab gonna help? Is he gonna come back and be productive? I mean, we don't know, but at the end of the day, if he can give us what Cabrera was giving us, we're in a good spot.
Yeah, I guess at second he could be okay, but it just like until it happens, definitely gonna question it. And we were kind of talking earlier. It would be nice because we know Jazz will be back eventually, but to swing a deal for Arenado. But I know that kind of seemed like it wasn't in the cards, earlier. I don't know if this changes anything. I would just love to know, come playoff time, we have Arenado, nailing down the hot corner.
My thing is, I'm not sold on Arenado like everybody else is. I'm really not.
I'm not sold on his bat. I mean, if that's what you're, talking about.
I'm not sold on him. Period. I put him in the I put him in the Rendon category. Like,
those are pretty murky waters.
They are. I know they are though. But like, what? Since I don't know. It's just he just gives me that feel. He just gives me that feel where we're gonna trade for him. We're gonna sign him, and then he's just barely gonna play. Or I don't know. I'd much rather just stick with what we're doing. Don't trade anybody. Don't like right now. The Yankees have the chemistry is great.
Yeah.
Don't change nothing.
No, and I agree, Ernie. I just, as Waldo, kind of put a wrench in it for me, just because like I don't want to count on LeMahieu. I don't want Pablo Reyes. So it's like I know they won't do it. I would love Vivas and Peraza just to be out there every day.
Well, which if LeMahieu gets hurt, Jazz is coming back soon. Now you have Peraza and Peraza and Vivas, platooning third base, but and for possibly Jazz, Peraza and Vivas platooning those positions if LeMahieu ends up getting hurt again, which I probably expect is going to happen. But I think we're in a good spot. Who knows? Maybe Lombard comes up a little early and helps us out.
Oh yeah, that would be unbelievable. And
have him play second base and put Peraza and Vivas at third. Just have them all platoon, all four of them. Jazz, Lombard, Peraza, and
well, I think if Lombard comes off, I mean, I would imagine he would play every day. So hopefully he'll succeed. At Double-A, and I guess they're saying, the Jazz injury. I mean, it's going to be a while that it's 3 pretty big separate tears. So I would think, I mean, we're talking like July, August for Jazz.
By the way, Josh B says that he wants Arenado back with Goldie. He says he'll be fine.
Well, my thought there too, Ernie, was, I think we talked about it. He's 22 next year, 15 the following year. I know we could get them to eat some of the deal, and I don't feel like we don't have to give up much. So I just think it wouldn't like hamstrung us, but I guess it would depend how much St. Louis is willing to eat in the deal. Like obviously you don't want for years of salary commitment.
And that's the thing. Like I don't want to take on his contract, and depending on who they want, I like think about what we're doing right now. And this is the big picture idea. Like we had so many questions offensively going in. We had so many questions pitching going in. We're still in first place. The offense is booming. The ads are working. The team looks fun again. Like, do you really want to go ahead and mix things up and start trading away people for somebody who might now?
Yeah.
When things are looking good right now, like personally, I'd much rather have them bring somebody up because everybody that they brought up has served the purpose and is doing well. So keep the recipe.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like I said, I mean, definitely no concerns
about
what are we gonna do
next year?
Offense.
What are we gonna do with Arenado next year?
Yeah, no, it could, you might not want him for the next 2 seasons after this. So, and like I said, I mean, my whole thing was just defense. So hopefully, LeMahieu while he's playing and Peraza can hold it down at third. That's all we need because we don't need any more offense. Everyone else is hitting. Hitting well. And it's just refreshing to see. And it just, there are people almost like laughing at our lineup coming into the season, and the fact that we lead the league in run scores. I mean, that's just awesome.
I mean, Barnes, remember, in our own Twitter spaces, in our own conversations, Discord, here, TCA chat, bro, people were saying the Yankees might not make the playoffs.
Yeah. And we just
let's really think about that. We weren't gonna make the playoffs. We lost Cole, we lost Soto, Belly's done, Goldie's old, we have no second base, Jazz is overrated, DJ's a hair case. Like, okay, Dominguez is gonna be a bust, Rice is gonna be a bust, Wells is gonna be a bust.
Yeah.
This is all we heard in the offseason.
Yeah.
All right, everybody got to eat a bag of dicks now and watch us succeed. It's just like, look, just everything is working.
Yeah.
Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like look, who would have thought Escara, Vivas, Peraza were all going to be hitting?
Right.
Who would have thought that? Not even me and you would have sit here and be like, yeah, we're going to get great production from these guys.
And
like,
getting
who
clutch hits too. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Clutch big time at bats. So it's like, if you're a fan and you are a Yankee historian, this has to give you 96 vibes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I certainly agree. I'm a complete team effort. So excited for tonight's game in Seattle. Before we know it, it'll be Friday night, Yankees-Mets at the stadium. So that's going to be great as well. So let's just keep the good times rolling. That's for sure. But, appreciate the assist there with the grid, Ernie. And, let's go Yanks.
Let's go Yankees.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks again.
Peace, Ernie.
All right, peace. Peace, Tone.
The great Erndino.
The Swami, dude.
The Swami. So a lot of momentum here, baseball. Let's go, stretch run.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle, quick! It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. So last night on the ice, 2 more hockey games, 2 3-run lead, 3-1 series leads as the Hurricanes 5-2 over the Capitals at the Lenovo Center. So 1 game away here from reaching the conference finals for the first time in a long time. And going into this, we really, Tony, expected the Capitals to kind of get back into this series. They were shut out until the third period, got it within 1 with an Ovechkin power play, but just not enough. No. And you had the Svechnikov empty netter at the end to make it 5-2. But it just seems like the Capitals here, who were just guns a-blazing all season, have kind of run out of gas, and also run into a team in the Carolina Hurricanes that might have been a little, overlooked coming into the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Carolina, I guess, you're thinking about them being that little brother in the playoffs, who is good, makes it there, but just never has enough to get over the hump that was like Tampa Bay or the Rangers at the time or whatever. But here, like you said, Capitals absolutely skidding to a brick wall here. To be held to no goals for 2 periods here. I know that there hasn't been a ton of scoring for the Capitals or necessarily in this series in general, I guess. But still, dude, you got to figure out ways to score. And especially after getting shut out in game 3, you get shut out for 5 straight periods, basically, against the Hurricanes here. That's not good. And again, obviously you want to tip your hat to Anderson, for killing it in between the pipes for them. You still got to find ways to score. It can't be the first goal comes from, was it the Ovechkin power play goal? That was their first goal last night, I think, maybe, or was it the second goal?
That was the second goal. It was Chikrin at his third to make it 2-1, 5 minutes in the third.
But still, you want more. You need more from Strome. You need Tom Wilson to score, even.
Tommy.
You need these guys to show up a little bit better, and you can tell. I'm watching this game. You can tell the frustration by OV, by these guys. And it's a shame because, like we said, you need Ovechkin to show up on the score sheet. He does, and it's not enough, dude. You need more of an all-around team effort that we saw in the regular season. I mean, I know Dubois had an assist, but I mean, I want to say he's pointless. Other than that, this series here. I mean, you look at his last few games here in Carolina. That was his first point of the series. After contributing a lot to the series against Montreal. So I don't know if maybe this is a case too where Montreal, maybe people thought that that win against Montreal meant something more. Because they're getting absolutely shut down here against the Carolina Hurricanes, and obviously you want to give them their props. So because seeing Taylor Hall score was pretty cool. Taylor Hall was in the Bruins.
Oh no, the way you said it at first, I don't know. I didn't think you said Taylor. I don't know. I was just confused. But yes, I know Taylor Hall. Yeah. And actually, an underrated pickup because you see he's kind of washed, even though he's former MVP. But he's had some big goals.
Yeah, I mean, he was just stuck in Chicago, I guess.
Yeah.
Chicago was garbage. So obviously it's great for them. I mean, a lot of goals. I mean, you had every forward other than let's say 3 players had a point. So every other forward had a point, which is outrageous. I mean, they're hitting you from all sides, and Washington's certainly in trouble here, down 3-1.
Yeah, I think it's the kiss of death, Tony. I mean, sure, it's Ovechkin, anything can happen. They're going back to DC,
right?
Carolina's ready.
Doesn't mean much, dude.
Yeah, no, I think they're ready to go. So, we'll have to see, and we'll see too if they're going to be facing off against Florida. That would be a good matchup. The other game last night, there's been a lot of, talk about the Edmonton goaltending defensive situation, Tony.
Crazy.
But in a huge game here, Edmonton gets a shutout, winning 3-0, only getting 1 point combined between McDavid and Draisaitl because Adam Henrique had his second and third goal of the postseason, and then 2 points from Evander Kane, his 4th goal of the postseason and 3rd assist. And we mentioned the shutout, Stu Skinner, 23 of 23. Edmonton really, really showing a sense of maturity, like they learned from their experience in the Stanley Cup final last year and taking, command of this series as it heads to Vegas for Game 5. Yeah,
I think another team for Vegas, unfortunately, seems like they've gotten the kiss of death. And the Stuart Skinner shutout, I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card.
Yeah, imagine what the odds were for that one.
Oh my gosh, dude. You mentioned Adam Henrique. Honestly, another player for me personally to enjoy seeing him play well. I know Henrique was a devil for a long time, but still.
What was he on the Ducks?
On the Ducks, yeah. I still think that he's just one of those players you enjoyed watching. I mean, he's been around forever, dude, a journeyman,
right?
No doubt about it. And to see him get 2 goals here in a big game, and I will say for Edmonton, in terms of what I saw, that was maybe way better than prior playoff series or seasons or whatever, was their physicality. I mean, 33 hits. And it was getting gritty. And Adam Henrique and Evander Kane were 2 big parts of that physicality. And I will say for the Knights, I mean, listen, obviously you score nothing. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
You should have more than enough talent to get at least a goal on the board against Stuart Skinner. And I know maybe you get knocked around a lot, but fucking like tough shits. Like you gotta grit your teeth and start to hit back. But they got to find a way to score. Aiden Hill has to find a little better way, I think, to guard the pipes as well, dude. He has not had a good series against Edmonton. I know you could say Edmonton, the firepower, the goal scoring, yes. But I don't know. From what I've seen from him, which I guess maybe is in every second of every period, it's still not impressive for me, which is why, I mean, we're finding ourselves with the G Knights down 3-1. And like you said, Brian, I mean, it just doesn't seem like they're going to come back from this, dude.
No, it really doesn't. So it's gonna be interesting. How about Ernie saying, guys, at 11:30 last night, I was watching hockey. Evander Kane is his new favorite hockey player, and I think Tony is gonna say, be careful.
Yeah,
there.
you may want to do a little research on Evander Kane.
McDavid, Ernie, McDavid. Okay. But yeah, so this is great stuff here. And only one game tonight. Dallas looking to take that commanding 3-1 lead here at home against the Jets. And they've looked pretty impressive the last few games. I mean, what are you thinking there?
It's over.
Yeah, I mean, Rantanen.
Yeah, there's no way. Like,
I mean, Rantanen might be making a run at the Hall of Fame.
it
Honestly.
really is ridiculous. Again, you talk about another guy, like, with his story, like, how do you not want to root for this guy?
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, for Dallas in general too. I mean, it will be cool to see them in the Cup final if they do make it, or even the conference final for that matter. And I think they will. I mean, I just like listen. I mean, you could also argue the Winnipeg storyline. Like, it's cool to root for, but they just have not shown up in the playoffs. Like, what do you want? Like, they're not showing up for the playoffs, which is unfortunate because they were one of the best teams in the league all season long. Like, from the get go. They were a top contending team. So it is really crazy to see, you know, their failure. And I know I'm not going to, I hate to be writing them off, but I mean, I will write them off. I mean, it's been honestly kind of annoying because I had higher expectations for the Jets as well. I know it's only game 3 here, or game 4, excuse me, but like, there's no way the Stars win it out.
How about we got Tommy Donovan, as always, you know, tuning in from Instagram, saying Mikko gonna get himself the Conn Smythe, Tony.
Possibly will, dude. Very much will. Which would be great.
You know, so and kind of crazy too. This season, you know, 5 goals in 20 games with Dallas in the regular season, 9 in 10 games this postseason. So
ridiculous.
Really making his impact felt. And I do agree with you. I think they will take that commanding lead. They just look so fast and so much ahead of you know, the Jets in the series. So we'll see. And then, you know, our usual kind of wrap up NBA talk here. Obviously at the top, we went over the Knicks victory there. Still crazy that we're talking about the Knicks being 1 game away from you know, advancing to the conference final. All the doubt coming into this postseason. I mean, I don't remember, especially a New York team in the playoffs before a series even starts. Like, just so much pessimism. Almost the most I've ever seen, honestly.
Yeah, no, yeah, I could see that. Probably the most I've ever seen too. But I guess that, you know, it makes it even more exciting, Brian.
I mean, right? And Brunson. I mean, he talking about a guy too. I mean, who would have seen that coming? A 2nd round pick. I mean, arguably one of the best players in the whole league.
Yeah, and I forget what interview, who was it with? It may have been honestly on Jimmy Kimmel, to be honest, but he showed him like the, you know, articles in the Post and New York Times or whatever about when Brunson came to the Knicks, and it was like overrated, wash, dumb idea, and then like now the titles are MVP.
Kind of like if we were to, you know, I actually said Josh V because I didn't get Rob for it. I had some screenshots of the comments on our video on TikTok going into the series. The 39. You know,
oh my God, dude.
Where did they go?
Where are they?
See these people anymore. I don't know what happened. That's funny. Anyway, though, so. You know, we'll get game 5 there tomorrow. But last night also the Timberwolves taking out the Curry-less Warriors there, 117-110. And this game wasn't even that close. I mean, you know, Golden State outscored Minnesota by 13 there in the 4th quarter. So the Timberwolves 1 game away from reaching the conference finals, and you know, it's going to be interesting to see who they're matched up with. But that is something exciting for the NBA. I mean, I would say, even though maybe Minnesota is a huge like rating bonanza TV market, Anthony Edwards, you know, somebody who has a chance to really be head and shoulders the best player in the NBA over the next couple of years, to him to get to his first NBA finals, I think that would create a lot of juice, and especially if it were to be against a team like the Knicks.
Yeah, that would be kind of wild, dude.
And then the storylines with DiVincenzo,
Randall,
Towns,
yeah, dude,
be kind of nuts.
And Randall's been doing really well, really well.
Yes, so that'll be interesting. And speaking of conference finals, the Pacers with an opportunity tonight in Cleveland to punch their ticket. And they have completely dismantled this Cleveland team this series. You know, obviously winning 3 of the 4 games so far. And last time out winning by, 20. And there was, a 1-point win and a 9-point win before that. And then they did lose game 3. But it just seems like they've been in control of this series the entire time. And I think I mentioned this before, but I think the experience of Indiana was overlooked coming into this series.
Mhm.
Rick Carlisle winning the title with Dallas. Michael.
Hype for the Knicks.
And then Halliburton has hit some big shots. Hype for the Knicks, Michael. Let's go. Fuck Boston. Tatum. Done. Yeah, so I think Indiana, will close it. I think the injury is, just too much for Cleveland at this point.
Too much.
What do you think? No way. Not even like a Mitchell 50 burger like we used to talk about.
But like you said, the injuries, I mean, Pacers are gelling really well, so it should be interesting to see if they end up getting, matched up with the Knicks. Like that would be a pretty wild rematch.
Classic Indiana, New York. That goes back a ways, and they just played last year in a 7-game series. I believe. And then tonight, I mean, this is going to be a pretty good game. Interesting though. Oklahoma City 10.5-point favorites at home. All tied up at 2 here against Denver. This has been kind of a back and forth series. Literally went every other. Denver winning the first game by 2, but then Oklahoma City winning by 43. Game 2, losing in overtime in game 4, and then winning by 5 in game 4. I mean, are we continuing the trend here? I mean, Denver would be due for the win.
Yeah.
But whoever wins this is gonna, definitely be in the driver's seat, especially Oklahoma City, because then they would have the luxury of a game 7 if needed at home.
I mean, it's crazy. It has been a crazy, like, back and forth, sporadic, series. I mean, you mentioned obviously every other game being won by the opposing team. Also, you think about OKC. I mean, that was that game 2 was that like 87 first half, right?
Right.
Which is ridiculous. And then you cut to game 4 where they were even scoring 100 points. So I think it's got hard to obviously to I guess kind of make a prediction here. I guess if I had to though, I mean, I guess give me OKC at home. I mean, why not? I'll take them at home here.
I don't know about the 10.5 though. Right?
I don't know about 10.5 either, dude.
Yeah.
I would think. Like, I don't know why it is 10.5 because like that seems like so much.
I mean,
dude,
I guess
right?
they won at 43 at home the last time they played there, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, you think of game 1 when they lost. And it was by 3-point margin too. So it's like, I don't know, these games, I think this game is going to be close. They're not going to score 90 in the first half this game. Like They could, certainly. I mean, obviously, you might say that they couldn't when they just scored 87, but I don't think it's going to happen again, and it doesn't happen very often, and I think Nuggets keep it close. I think OKC maybe, like, I mean, we're talking like buzzer beater 3 at the end. Like, they win 106-103.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to say they win by like 7.
Okay.
I think Shai will have a big game. And I think we're going to probably be headed for a game 7, though, honestly, because I don't think Denver is going to go down too easy game 6 at home if that is what we get. But yeah, I mean, obviously some great sports tonight. I saw Josh B also added a hockey comment there. So I don't know if that was in reference to Tommy's comments or Ernie getting into the hockey. And then also a couple other kind of side notes here. Love to see this. I just saw this on ESPN.com. Jordan Spieth says he's inspired by McIlroy's Masters win eyes, the Grand Slam at Quail Hollow 2 days from now, the PGA Championship.
I mean, listen, man, a statement like that, what was that, just on ESPN? Just like an article, whatever? Okay, yeah, dude. I mean, obviously to hear that he's dialed in and he's, obviously having his eye specifically. I mean, obviously, who wouldn't, have it? But, I think it's going to be a great tournament, dude. I think a lot of players, not even just him, are looking to obviously win this major here. So I think the storylines are great. It's going to be definitely tough for him, but he's been hanging around these past few tournaments, He's been golfing well. We've seen him put some good rounds together. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, the storylines are there. Scotty looking for his first one, right?
Right.
So,
yeah.
Do we get
Bryson
it? We'll see.
looking
for his first one.
John Rahm looking for his first one.
Well.
Xander looking to join that elusive list of going back to back. So that preview, will be tomorrow. And then one thing I happen to think about, and this is like way overdue, but we got the Preakness Stakes on Saturday. I mean, how about the bullshit, Tony, of Sovereignty winning the Kentucky Derby, the owner, quote unquote, looking out for the best,
Right.
long-term future of the horse, not racing in the Preakness. I think 8th straight year, no Triple Crown. I know we had
Right.
the 40-year gap or whatever it was, but just to not have the kahunas to race the horse. You're saying like it's about preserving the horse, but come on, if you knew you had a pretty good shot to win the
Right.
Triple Crown, I mean, you would just do that. That's going to make you the most money. So it's just like it's all for money anyway. It's not
Right.
like you care about the health of the horse, and
Right.
I don't know. Why wouldn't you just go for it? I mean, that's what makes horse racing the Triple Crown.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it is like, it is really annoying. I don't know who governs this, but
Yeah.
like, I mean, you should be like made.
Yeah, I
like
know.
they should make you
I
race.
know,
Like
I
that's so
know.
ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, why not? And it's like,
Right.
oh, well, if you don't like that, then don't race in the Kentucky Derby. No
Yeah.
one's making you do it.
Yeah.
So just takes a little juice out. And I was, even though, there's been some controversy with Bob Baffert, the trainer, who won the 2 Triple Crowns with American Pharoah,
Mhm.
in Justify, had the suspension in Kentucky, at the Kentucky Derby, just came back this year. But every time his horse has won the Kentucky Derby, he's been in the Preakness. So, hopefully, obviously it's a long ways away, but next year when we get in this situation, hopefully he wins because we know he'll do the right thing. But maybe they'll look into that eventually as far as making it mandatory. But we'll see.
You think you'd ever own a horse? Like if you were like rich, whatever.
If there was like extra
and-
funds, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, but a lot
you'd
of
be
extra
into
funds.
it, and you'd be like, let's like.
Oh, the Kentucky Derby win,
Right.
going to the Preakness.
But are you like would you be into it enough where it's like it's starting to take over? Like I need the Triple Crown win. Like I want it.
Oh, I mean, once you're in it, you're
Like
into winning,
you're
Tony. Come
yeah,
on.
dude.
There's a reason why there's only been so many Triple Crown winners. That's
That'd be
for sure.
sick, dude.
Yeah.
Have that on your mantle.
Yeah. So I forgot because I never even asked you. Did you end up catching any of the Derby or no?
The actual race, no.
Did you see Tarico had to be taken off the set like a nut allergy?
Get the fuck out of here,
Yeah,
really?
middle of he was like an hour into the coverage. Yeah.
Oh shit, dude! He ate something that had nuts in it.
Yeah. And there was somebody who was saying, "Oh yeah, he seems like a guy that just put his hand in a bowl, grab some stuff."
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
There might be like a PA getting fired or
Yeah,
something
right.
though. Like gave him the wrong food,
Right,
dude.
right.
Holy shit.
So yeah, it takes really like, especially like the casual horse racing fans. I mean, we're probably not even thinking about the Preakness States this
No.
Saturday. I mean, the only thing that would maybe be fun is like if we got some opportunity where someone's like, "Oh yeah, we got a box at the at Belmont. Oh, you want it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean. Other than that, we're not even thinking about Belmont.
no.
This is probably the last time we're talking about horse racing until the Kentucky Derby next year.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine. Yeah, sure.
thanks to sovereignty, Tony. What's on tap for binge?
We do have The Last of Us episode 4 we'll be talking about. We have Michael and myself in studio tonight. No Manny.
Okay.
Which
No
should be
Joel,
good.
still dead.
Yes, Joel still dead, dude. And then I watched actually this movie which you'd probably enjoy. It's called Known. It's on Netflix. Vince Vaughn's in it.
Vince Vaughn.
It's
Okay.
actually based on a true story about a restaurant on Staten Island, Brian.
There we go.
A guy went to this restaurant with the idea of having real Italian grandmothers be the chefs,
Mhm.
as opposed to like hiring actual cooks and whatever. So it was kind of cool. It was a cool movie. The restaurant's still there on Staten Island. So it was a good movie.
Is
We'll
that gonna
talk
be
about
8?
that, dude. Yes, 8 sharp.
There we go.
Sharp.
And then also on the way out here, Ernie says Keandre Miller, favorite now. Let's go Rangers. So we'll see if that holds up. And Mike Sullivan, I am excited about the Mike Sullivan era, Tony. Honestly, I am optimistic. Are you not?
Yes, I am, dude. The press conference. He's optimistic. He's hyped up.
He's motivated.
He's
He wants to prove
motivated.
himself.
Exactly. And I think that he also wants to win, dude.
Yeah.
Like not even just prove himself, but he wants to win.
To win the place where it all started.
Like, let's go, dude.
So we know he'll be jacked up, and we're going to be counting.
That's not true, Ernie.
At the Rangers, what they do in the offseason. Also, just I happen to think of this. Is it time to get rid of the NBA draft lottery? The Dallas spiking with the 8th best odds, 10th best odds. But obviously the whole conspiracy thing comes into play. So I know you don't want teams tanking, but it just would take away that whole thing of like, oh, it's rigged.
Yeah.
If they just didn't do it like that.
And again, not for nothing, like Rick and Dave were talking about that, and they both think it's rigged. And it's like if you have like prominent like ESPN like radio hosts
saying it's rigged,
like that's not good, dude.
Nah.
Like you should be embarrassed.
Yeah, it's too much. And because I'm trying to think, what was wasn't there one? I know everyone thought for Patrick Ewing, but wasn't there something else recently? Like within the last couple of years, I thought there was another one where everybody thought that. I don't know if it was the Spurs.
Was it Wemby?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, it's just. I just think just take that away, and this way it's not even a conversation. It's just decided on the court. Because other than that, it's just it's going to be controversial. So it's amazing too. Dallas now could put together a team. A lot of hype on Cooper Flag, and then if AD and Kyrie are healthy, I mean that's a pretty good 1, 2, and 3. So
we got a last minute call here.
Who is it?
You're gonna find out in a second, Brian.
Michael Butka.
Michael, you're live on the line.
Butka?
Barnes!
Is this
wow?
I had to say, excellent invitation there, Michael. Excellent. Wow. I was convinced. I swear to God, I was convinced.
So I heard you guys went to a meeting, but I heard you talking about the draft.
Voice.
So when I had to do it.
Yeah. No, I was talking about you have this voice now that sounds like you're talking on a scrambler, which we've dealt with before in the past, Michael. That's all right. Continue.
Oh, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but
you're kind of like this now. Yes, the draft.
Like the mafia's after me.
Should I call you back?
No, it's honestly funnier to listen to. So continue.
Okay. Well, how rigged the draft is in New Orleans when the NBA owned it. Anthony Davis coming out of Kentucky. They got number 1 overall pick. When LeBron left Cleveland, they got 4 out of the 5 years, or 3 out of the 5 years. It's either 4 or 3. I can't remember right now. Mm-hmm. But first overall pick when he left, like back to back, and then Chicago needing a star in that market. They had a 0.8% chance. Who was coming out then? Derrick Rose. They got the first overall pick. So there's just a few.
And Wemby. I mean, and the Spurs, they needed Wemby.
Yeah.
And then how about this? A couple live ones for you quick, Michael. Theophil Truth beats Cena for a title, and then Josh B also says he sounds like Peter Quill trying to sound like Thor.
Oh, shit. Great. Dude, I texted Josh and Danny the other day that I'm so pumped for the tailgate and all that stuff.
Yes,
dude.
Inside of 1 month now.
I can't wait.
Tickets in the wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go,
dude.
So, can't wait for that. It's going to be legendary, Michael.
Absolutely, dude.
Oh, God, I can't wait. And we definitely have to talked about it. We got to plan it accordingly. Josh listening.
The golf.
TCA, and the barbecue at the Knowlton.
Yes.
Oh, barbecue at the Knowlton, dude.
Imminently.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be great, dude.
Definitely want to do that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Peace.
All right.
Yeah, thanks.
So what is the like? If you had to take a guess with that,
dude, I don't
think he's fucking with us, right?
I don't think he is. I think it may be his phone. I think his phone is just on the outs, okay. Dude. Right. It's like if you ever like watch something on his phone, like the screen's going in and out, like it's not good, dude.
No, I swear to God, like that's literally like the commercials, like of a 60 Minutes interview.
Literally,
it's like ratting somebody out.
Yeah, when the face is all black and it's just the scrambler.
Too funny. So that's a good one from Michael. But a great one today. And we really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Michael Renee and Jay in costume merch, DowntimeTV.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, enjoy Binge Buddies. Yep. Let's go Yankees.
Let's go Mets.
And we will see you
mañana. Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.